Watch Ron Nahas in action and see how to relate your topic to the one they know and care about, urban plan.
My name is Ron Nahas, and I'm a real estate developer. I've actually been involved in urban plan for a long, long time. We have a little company in the East Bay. We build apartments, we build offices, we build retail. And we've gone through what you all went through. We've responded to a number of requests for proposals from different cities and different places for different projects. We've been successful in getting some, we've been unsuccessful in others, and I want to talk about one today that we did in El Cerrito.
First, remember that they are teenagers, not real estate professionals. Link your topic to the issues the students are struggling with in urban plan. Use urban plan level language. Avoid real estate jargon or issues beyond the scope of urban plan, like NOI, IRR, Phase 1, soil conditions. Make your talk interactive. Don't be a talking head. Have a conversation with the students.
So we came in and took a look at the site. We did a market analysis of the area. We learned that there was a shortage of rental housing, which happened to be what we enjoyed building.
Remember, these students have grown up in an interactive educational environment, not a lecture environment. Make them active participants, or you'll lose them.
We put together a product here that you're probably familiar with. Those of you who were the site planners in the group again?
Have them respond to questions based on their urban plan development experience and always based on their urban plan roles.
The city was insisting that we include some retail in this project. Now, you all had retail, but you moved it around the site. We had to put it right in these buildings. Now, one question, and some of the issues that created for us were how to put these two uses together. Now, again, those of you who are the marketing directors here?
Notice that Ron's project is more traditionally suburban than the urban plan project. But through his questions and examples, he drives the students to think and to understand that the process and the forces that influence development are the same.
Okay, what are some of the pluses and minuses of putting retail and apartments together?
People that are living above stores might have an issue with the traffic or the noise that would happen below them.
As you see in the example we've created here, you may have a subdued audience or may find students reluctant to engage with you. Don't give up.
One of the things we did was to put parking right up front here. Site planners, what about this parking? Who are the site planners? Hold your hands up high so I know who I'm talking to. Okay, site planner. Why is that parking there?
I think because it's near the street, and since it's out front, it's easier for people to drive down the street and be able to pull in and just go straight to the store instead of having to drive all the way around.
Exactly right. The convenience of parking. But we thought this retail was going to struggle if we didn't have parking right in front of it. And I'm sure that when you guys laid out your towns, you were your blocks, you were very careful about getting that parking close to the retail.
Next, Ron draws the students' attention to trade-offs.
It does create a problem as far as the city is concerned. What is that problem? Who else was the site planner? Yes?
I guess there'd be a lot of traffic going through or going in and out of the parking lot.
Yeah, people turning across the sidewalk.
Drive them to the more complex answers. If they don't get it, prompt them or even provide the answers yourself so they'll see how their roles relate to your topic.
We're trying to make this a pedestrian street with people walking along and shopping. And of course, when you've got turnouts for parking lots, there's a big blank space. So these things are a trade-off. You know, your marketing guy who wants to lease these things could be sort of fighting with your site planner. In our case, we ended up including this.
Next, Ron leads the students to discover what happens when a developer's proposal ignores the market realities of the site.
There was another project that was competing for this, a developer from San Francisco, and they came in with a very different proposal. Their proposal was not one level of retail like ours, but what we have here, but two levels of retail. So people would come in, they'd shop at street level, then there were escalators going up to the second floor, and then on top of that, 2 layers of office. so that you're going to have office uses on top of that, and then on top of that, 2 layers of condominiums, for sale, luxury condominiums. That was their proposal.
If you don't make them stop, think, and respond, they'll get lost in your story, or maybe just lost, and lose the relationship to urban plan and real life.
They offered the city $2 million for the site. They said because they were selling these luxury condominiums, they could afford to pay $2 million for the site. We were, of course, offering $1.2 million. 2 of the city liaisons. You were a city liaison? Okay. Who do you think the city picked?
The $2 million one?
Sure. They picked the guys that offered the most money. That wasn't a very complicated choice. What do you think happened? Financial planners? Who are the financial planners here?
To drive the students to a clearer understanding of their roles, you need to push them to clarify their responses when they miss the mark. Watch how Ron works with this financial analyst.
The request might have been shot down by some of the other groups who saw that perhaps there'd be like a longer time to absorb those luxury apartments because people might not be willing to pay that much money to be on top of businesses and retail.
Shot down by what other groups?
The student is right. No market for luxury condos in this neighborhood. But she's responding from the perspective of the marketing director, not the financial analyst. After a while, she sees that her issue as financial analyst is the investor-lender problem.
Yeah.
Maybe the investors weren't willing to put in that much money.
Sure, that's right. If you can't borrow it, the question is, will people, when investors put the money up, and investors weren't willing to put it up either. Mm-hmm. And so what happened? Nothing happened. The site sat vacant for years.
When they ask a question, see if you can drive it back to them, making them active participants and forcing them to analyze the issue through the lens of their urban plan experience.
What happened to the property when it didn't get built by the...
Watch how Ron handles it.
It's a great question. It's a very good question, and it's sort of interesting as, in the context of urban plan. What was the one use in urban plan that was the most difficult to place but made the most money?
Q-Mart.
Q-Mart, exactly right. What do you think is on this site?
Walmart.
No, but close.
Target.
Target. This is now a Target. And that's what happened. That's where the economics were.
Because he kept at it, the students became more engaged. They came up with the answer, too. They figured it out from their urban plan experience. Before you close, see if you can find a way to sum up your presentation in a way that brings the students back to their UP process. Watch what Ron does here.
Nobody really got what they wanted, and it was because of people not sort of doing what you all did. In other words, having somebody arguing in their role for the thing that was important to them to come together with a plan that made sense for the town and the developers and the neighborhoods.
Although Ron's topic was about a development project, you can use the same techniques to engage the students on non-project specific topics. Topics can include how to make an effective presentation to a client, working with neighborhood groups, a development project of yours, raising capital, affordable housing. It just takes an understanding of the forces at play in urban plan and how these forces impact each student's role.